Yo, GM, everybody.
GM, happy Monday.
How's it going?
As Jeremy would say, how we living? How we doing?
Yo. Are we vibing? Are we vibing, boys?
Yeah, what a weekend. I feel like there's a lot going on this weekend. How was your weekend, Jeremy?
There was a lot going on. It was jam-packed, you know. I felt like the scene was alive again. You know, there's still world events going on, but there was some life breathed into these projects, and I kind of liked it.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. There was definitely a lot going on, and I think we both have some stuff going on in personal lives too, so it's just kind of a busy weekend altogether, but I'm happy to be back here Monday morning, start the week off with our viewers, with you, with everything going on, and without further ado, let's jump into some floor updates.
Let's do it.
So I wanted to talk. We're going to talk about this a little bit later, too, more in depth, a little bit. But so the top gainer for the last 24 hours is Dented Fields. Looks like, I mean, I guess we could talk about it now because the other side, one of the losers, is the opposite of this. But we were going to talk about this later. Let's just talk about it now. So Dented Fields, the market decided. You know that we had these two projects that were just battling. You know, the artist left Weather Report. There was a whole controversy, and they both released basically at the same time, both revealed kind of the same time, and it looks like Dented Fields came out on top. Are you? I know last time we talked, we had the similar approach that we were both watching from the sideline. Did you stick with that? Did you jump into either of these projects, or did you just continue just watching from the side?
Just stayed watching from the side, to be honest, because I feel like a Weather Report probably has the better team, like long term, you know, like in terms of what they're doing, what their plans are. They have, they just seem to have their stuff more together besides obviously the controversy that went on. And then Dented Fields was like, oh yeah, let me just find the dev, whip up this stuff together and just release it. Right. So, I mean, I don't know how that balances. And that's why, because I don't know, that's why I'm just like staying out of it. I don't really like them anyways.
Okay, so you're not viewing this as like a buying opportunity for Weather Report then, since you think the team is a little bit better? You're still just sticking to the side? They
are pretty low to where it's pretty spicy to definitely get into. You know, compared to some projects of similar status, I feel like Weather Report could be a steal, but they're always going to have that like asterisk on them. And so I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah. Well, let's. I had them pulled up. I wanted us to look at the floors of each project just to kind of compare the looks because they're kind of the same artist, but kind of not. So let's see. So this is Dented Fields. So right now, this morning, let me refresh it to get the most up to date price. It's at a point. Okay, so it's dropped since this morning, but so it's at a 0.38. It did kind of have a nice run overnight, but so it's back at 0.38. And this is kind of how they look like. I mean, what's your first impression of this art and these profile pictures?
I mean, dude, it's like, I mean, what can you say other than it's almost like a spitting image of Weather Report. It's just more like emotional based, I guess, instead of like weather based. Which I mean, it makes sense in the project names. I mean, it's a cool vibe and stuff, but again, like I knew nothing about the artist beforehand. I know that there can't be much of an established team because this all happened pretty last minute.
Yeah.
I know that they have a lot of community support, which actually goes a long way in this scene. But yeah, I mean, it's cool. It's vibey.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's
bad.
a lot that look, and I think I like to look at the higher end too. So we look at the highest last sale. Like I think some of them look pretty nice. Like some of them kind of look weird. Like there's a ton of these just like gray hoodies that look almost identical, except like maybe one thing in the background's different. But
yeah,
I mean they're interesting. I don't think it's something I'm going to jump into. Nothing that gets me excited, but you know I think they're okay. And if we look at on the flip side at the Weather Report, let me refresh their floors just to for reference again. So they are at a 0.118 floor right now, and this is what they look like. So it looks like they went the whole rounded head. I guess the only difference really is like they have the whole rounded head instead of the head that kind of dips a little bit. But sometimes I was looking at these earlier, and when I look at these, nothing unless you're on like the rares of them, like just look at this. Nothing screams like this is a weather NFT. Like this represents. Oh, this one represents this season. This is like, oh, this is happening at this weather right now. It's like nothing really screams weather to me on like the, at least the floor ones. If you look at the higher end ones, then yeah, there's obviously like a lot going on that has that weather theme to it. But these floor ones, I just didn't really get that vibe from it. So it's kind of,
Yeah.
I guess, a disconnect from the brand itself.
Yeah. To be honest, I never vibed with like the brand identity, like Weather Report, you know, versus, again, like I disclaimer, I do own some full send cards, like some meta cards, but that I supported that brand like before they even dropped NFTs. But it was their brand was like full send, and that's something that I can get behind, right? Just like sending it full send, and so like I got that, identity, like Weather Report, like. What am I, an anchor man? Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that.
You know, I mean, this is the future. You know, news stations are instead of hiring weathermen, they're gonna be using these as VR
Yeah.
on screen to do the weather report. That's what it's for, right?
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
like
yeah,
crowdsourced weather reporting. I don't know.
I've never kind of vibed with it or got that feel from it as well. So I think we're on the same page there. But yeah, so if we go back to the changes in chat, please let us know what you guys think of between Dented Fields and Weather Report. If you guys own any, if you're picking a side, or if you're kind of like us and just kind of watching from the sideline. But if we move on to the 24-hour floor change, the next one I wanted to hit on is Quirkies. This is one that I've kind of been watching the last few days, actually over the last week, just kind of keeping track of, deciding like, should I buy, should I not buy, because they definitely look unique, they look interesting, they got a good color scheme. Have you seen these, and what's your thoughts on these?
Quirkies, I have not. I have not seen them.
Okay, well,
What do they look like?
then.
Yeah.
Let's pull them up.
Reaction.
Let's get live reaction. There's only 5,000 of them, and they're at 0.6 floor right now.
Oh, yo, those are super vibey. Love the color palette, but I mean, I'm just a sucker for that. When you talk about like, what is this? Pastel
Yep.
and flat. Oh my goodness. Like,
Okay, that was a good reaction from you. We don't normally see that. That was rare, Chad. You see that? We don't see that from Yo Jeremy. Usually he's like, okay, I don't know, dude. That's,
I mean, they are
I've seen this
dumb.
Before. They are dumb. Okay, there we go.
They
There's
are-
the Yo Jeremy we know and love.
they are dumb, but they look cute, and the colors are a banger.
Yeah, the colors look good. It's kind of got that, like, I feel like Doodles, like, once they started this color palette, it just kind of unleashed the floodgates of all these projects following in that similar color palette, and we saw it with them. We see it with, I'm actually wearing the shirt for the FOMO Mofos. I got this in the mail the other day, and they kind of have a similar color palette as well. But, I mean, they're unique, they're different, right?
Yeah, they are. But man, bro, Weather Report, Dented Fields, and the Quirkies, they all kind of have that like huge heads. So, you know, perfect circle head.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's the trend right now, right?
Weird. Yeah, for
And then
sure.
the last gainer I wanted to touch on is something a little bit different than profile pictures. Is we got Treeverse. Looks like they had a pretty good 24 hours. They're up 30%. I think we both minted Treeverse. I don't hold anymore. I sold out way too early. I took my 2 or 3x and then I moved on. Obviously, I should have held longer. Are you still holding Treeverse? Do you know why that maybe they had this increase? Usually we see these NFT, these metaverse lands pump all together, but it looks like they kind of had an individual pump in this last 24 hours, and it's kind of separated from, you know, being connected to the other NFT lands.
I didn't see this action on Treeverse. I know that they've got up, you know, previously pretty high in the past. I think they dropped to pretty close to 1, but I don't own any in Treeverse, but I do have a few metaverse. Like I literally have a window of like 6 tabs right now of metaverse stuff to go buy, and
Yeah.
Treeverse is not on them. So take that for what you will. But I'm just not I'm not a Treeverse dude. I'd rather probably have World Wide Web.
So you just kind of I feel like you tease us a little bit. You got these tabs open of things you're watching to go by. Are you gonna share, or are you keeping that alpha? You keeping those cards closed? You holding the alpha back a little bit?
I mean, sure, I'll let people know what I have on it. Let's see. I have I have Network, which is NETVRK, Network Land. I have Sandbox, which is some plots right next to Metakey. Somnium, Somnium Space, Decentraland, and World Wide Web.
There
So
you go. You're ready to dive into the metaverse, aren't you?
yeah, I'm just trying to buy up some plots, brother, so I can start developing.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, so if we look at the flip side of the floors, we had kind of a lot of action. It feels like we're more back to normal. I like the last time we did this on Friday, it was just all over the place because of what had happened the back half of that week. But so some of the top, I guess, losers you could say, so Desperate Ape Wives. Have you ever owned a
Big
Desperate Ape
surprise.
Wife?
Big surprise there. I had no idea that this was ever going to happen to Desperate Ape Wives.
We thought it was a blue chip, right? I mean, I know
Thought
your
it
bags.
was an
I know your
blue
bags were
chip.
packed. You got like 50 of these. No, I mean that's kind of no surprise here. I never minted them. I never touched them. I don't think you did as well, and I don't know a lot of people that did as well. They just kind of stayed away. Looks like Kaz is right there with you on the network. So yes, we got Desperate Ape Wives, and then Tubby Cats. Looks like they're kind of coming back down after they had a nice pump towards the last half of the week over the weekend. So they're down 20% back to 0.44. I
Yep.
think I haven't been following these as close, but do you know if these are fully minted out yet? I know there's supposed to be 20,000 of them, and it was kind of like a slow mint.
I'm
process.
pretty sure they are because
Okay.
I think I was talking to Snow about these. I'm pretty sure they're all spoken for.
Yeah, and that's probably why they had that list, or why they had that drop off is, once the supply was all minted, now they're going back down to a price that the market feels more comfortable with.
Yeah.
But they've got the thing with Tubby Cats, it just looking at this on face value, it looks like it may get worse for them. Because this 23% listed right now,
That is a
23.6.
high supply.
That
listed.
is, and especially for a 20,000 project, that's almost 5,000 of them listed, and so that's interesting. We may see that drop more. And then the last one, I'm sorry BSB, I'm sorry Mtoli, but MFers they came back down to earth. They're down 16% at 2.88. I've been watching this closely. I know BSB knows that. Him and I have been kind of going back and forth, but they kind of came back down to earth a little bit, which is to be expected. They kind of had that nice pump to 6 ETH pretty much, and then settling somewhere in between where they started and where they ended up at. Is this something that if they get to a certain level, are you going to look at buying into, or are you kind of just is it already at price higher than what you're willing to pay?
Yeah, for me, man. Again, I don't like to do degen stuff, so they're pretty much already out of my price range.
Yeah.
I like to buy under a certain threshold unless it's an absolute banger like blue chip. Like Artifact is probably one of the most expensive things that I bought, the Clone X. My second one, I think I bought it for a little bit over 5 or 6 ETH, but that was like an anomaly. Other than that, my highest purchase before then was maybe around 2.2, and that was for Cool Cats. Other than that, I mean, again, pretty conservative. So yeah, probably missed my boat.
That's smart. That's a lot smarter than my approach. Usually, I take the shotgun method. I miss a lot, but sometimes I hit, and hopefully those hits are bigger than the misses. All right, so that's kind of it for the 24-hour change wrap up. Before we move into a special segment for today, I think we have enough time to talk about the Invisible Friends. So these revealed over the weekend. I don't think you had any. I didn't have any. I know Hunter and Gokina had some, and they held through the reveal as well. So let's just pull these up. Did you catch these? Were you watching the reveal pretty closely? Were you trying to snipe rares? Were you just kind of watching just out of curiosity?
I was watching more of the market stuff, like how much volume they were going to do, what the floor price was going to do, what the sentiment like on Twitter was going to be, if it was going to be a letdown or not. If there's any FUD going to be coming out of it, maybe some team member is selling them before reveal or sniping them before reveal. But yeah, I mean, look, I think these are cool. It would be really cool if Twitter allowed like animated profile pictures, NFT verified profile pictures. That'd be dope.
Yeah.
I don't know how much of a fan I am for this type of project to have the full body. And I know this full body is like pretty short and it may work, but I don't know. It's not so much about the art, I guess, these days. They're dope. I am not a buyer anywhere near 6 ETH.
Right.
Maybe 2, because there is a lot of support and a lot of hype for these. But yeah, 6. Nah, I'm outie.
Yeah, and this is one that we saw. I think we talked about on Friday. We saw once people were able to mint, we saw sales at 15 ETH, 12 to 15 ETH was pretty normal, and they kind of settled in that 11 ETH range. I think right before the reveal, they were actually at 8.5 ETH pre-reveal, so they dipped down. Looks like they settled in at a 6.1 floor, which is pretty healthy. I mean, that's still, I
Yeah.
think, in my opinion, that's more than I'd be willing to pay for this. But I mean, for the holders, if you were able to mint, that's still a huge W for you guys. If you bought at 15 ETH and you have a 6 ETH one, then that's
That's tough.
That's tough. That's real tough.
Yo,
So,
Justice says, "You strike me as a shotgun type of guy." Tagline.
hey, I mean, what can I say? It's not working very well in 2022, but it worked really well in 2021.
Toasty says, and that's true. I mean, what Toasty says here is like one hit can pay for 100 misses sometimes.
Yeah.
But I mean, while that is true, it's tough to take into account. Like, what if those 100 misses? Maybe you didn't pay as much, like on average, for those 100 misses as you did for that one hit. So, but anyways, like it's just tough to see L, and then like a dub every now and then. But he is right. Sometimes that can just pay off. It's kind of like, oh, sorry, I think I messed up on one of the comments you were trying to show. But
no, I just took away the floor update thing. You're good.
Oh, cool. What was I gonna say? Yeah, just don't look at it as gambling, though. By the way, like have some criteria and conviction or some reasoning behind the projects that you're buying. Whether it's good or bad, I mean, that's totally up to you. In your opinion, whether the criteria is good or bad. But like, have a system and then try to stick to it. Like, try to stay consistent, and that to me is at least a little less worse than gambling.
Yeah. I will say for Toasty's comment, I did see a tweet the other day, I think it was yesterday, where someone's friend basically they basically said that one invisible friend made them a millionaire in just that one sale because they minted, I think, like the number one rare one, sold it for a crazy amount, and they kind of pushed them over the threshold. So I mean, that's all it took. But we are seeing a lot of these high-end purchases on these with like, all the whales coming in and scooping. So I wonder how long that can last and how long that can kind of keep these up. I think the next week is going to be pretty significant for these, whether they keep this floor or if the buying slows down, like the hype kind of dies down a little bit, people move on to other things, then the floor will maybe start to drop more. So it's going to be curious to see. It's going to be pretty volatile, I think, in my opinion.
Yep. No, absolutely. And shout out Patrick for the follow. Thank you. And Tasita as well. Thank you guys for the follow. Hope you enjoyed the content. All right, what's next?
All right, that was it. But I think we have I think I'll let you take over now. I think we got a little special segment, special guest joining us.
Yeah, let me just check that he's ready. But yeah, we do have a little special guest. Some of you guys may have seen the man, the myth, the legend before. And so just bringing him on board. Let's check in with them. Yo, Kenko, how's it going, brother?
Yo, I'm in the hills of Kentucky right now, so I'm like screaming out of the back of my car.
Yeah, audio is coming through fine. Video is not. But if you do get laggy, feel free to like turn off the video, and then we'll let you know. Audio is coming through fine though.
Sweet.
So yeah, Kenko, let's see. You're here from Alpha Kingdom NFT. I'll go ahead and throw some links in the chat and up on the screen. So first of all, tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, and then what the project is.
Okay, so my name is Zeke, actually. I go by Kenko Park online. I came into the NFT space in June with, like after Harry Swan got me, just kept begging and begging and begging. We were doing like Top Shot stuff, and I was never really a basketball fan. So I'd get my packs and then I'd open them and I'd have to like send screenshots to him to see if I got anything good because I had no clue who any of these people were. Yeah. But I just liked the idea behind like the blockchain and owning these like trading cards essentially, I like the whole thing about it. So got into Deadheads, made a sweet sale, got my ape, joined the Shillerverse, just went down the rabbit hole, did some community manager work for Mars Cat Voyage, and then finally spun off into Alpha Kingdom. So now we're here.
Nice, man. So how does that kind of like how captivated were you by NFTs? Because I can see kind of like you're out in the woods, and I don't know if that's where you're from, but that's where I was from. So did it like immediately hit you? Like you understood the power, or the like how we could leverage NFTs in the future as collectibles or as utility, or did it take you a little while? Because I know you said like Harry kept bugging you, but did you understand the idea or the concept?
Right. Well, I had an idea of NFTs prior to that through like artists that I had already followed for their prints.
Yeah.
And they started doing NFTs, and I like the fact that it was like a digital collectible with a certificate of authenticity behind it. So it really took out the middleman of like having to have this physical piece that you have to get framed and do all this stuff, because I have a ton of art in my house from like a bunch of different people. So I had already known about NFTs, but I didn't know how to get into it until Swan and I got into Top Shot. And then finally he brought me over to like the mainstream side of NFTs.
Sure. And let's see. So were you like a card collector at all? Like, Pokemon, NBA, NFL, or not really?
I did a bunch of Pokemon
Cool.
collecting.
Yeah.
And then I was really big into Yu-Gi-Oh for a long time.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much the end.
Awesome.
I collect hobbies more than anything. So
Yeah. I like understanding people's backgrounds, right? Like what brought them into NFTs, what made them understand NFTs, because we got a lot of viewers, right, who like this is maybe some of them have yet to mint their first project. So they're still trying to understand the space and what the heck is an NFT and what it can be used for. So I like to understand how people got to this moment, especially for project, founders and leaders. Now you're obviously to a point where you can understand and be comfortable with leading your own project and knowing what your NFT can and can't do.
Right. There was like in the very beginning, it was more of like a money making thing. Obviously, I mean, I feel like a lot of people get into NFTs because they hear you can make a lot of money. But what really changed, especially owning an ape, was the fact that I realized that it's much more than just taking that, like, it's much more than just owning a piece of art. It's more like you're buying into, or like buying a membership into like a exclusive community, and then the utilities that can be attached to that kind of thing. So that's what really drove me to found a project of my own, is like just being able to push the boundaries of like what you can do with that kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
I have yeah, go ahead,
Yeah, and
Tycho.
I was gonna say, yes. I mean, we've got it pulled up right now. So we've got, looks like you're one of the founders of Alpha Kingdom. So can you kind of give us a rundown of what Alpha Kingdom is?
Yeah, Alpha Kingdom really is like a passion project of like all these things that we, as like me and my co-founders, that we're all like very passionate about in the Web 2 space, as far as like theme parks. We're big Disney fans. Big, like, we love merch. We love like NFT merch. I probably have more NFT merch now than like anything else in my closet.
Absolutely.
I just can't stop buying it. And then like obviously Web3. So it's like this big culmination of all these things that, we just wanted to throw them all together to see what exactly we could accomplish using all of these elements together. So that's really at its core what Alpha Kingdom is.
All right. And is the website live or?
The website is not live.
Okay.
Awesome.
So it's just Discord and Twitter at the moment, correct?
What's that?
Discord and Twitter at the moment?
Yep. Discord and
Okay.
Twitter.
Awesome. Wait, you guys do have a Medium as well, though, right?
Yeah, we have a Medium.
Okay. Yeah, I can pull that up just in case we need to look at something there. So Alpha Kingdom is that passion project. What is its main goal, do you think, for like, or benefit or value for holders who mint this?
So we're doing a lot of things. The designing the roadmap was done in such a way that we were trying to appeal to as many collectors as possible, purely because there's so many different facets of NFT collecting that we wanted to touch on. So we're doing metaverse integration, we're doing a clubhouse, and we're having rotating experiences that you can play for like prizes and stuff. Tons of POAPs because I'm a POAP fiend.
Okay.
And then we're doing some stuff where we like work with the community to help build assets. That's why we're leaning into Sandbox, because they offer like free programs to help build things, which is a little easier than like something like Decentraland where you got to know like 3D modeling and then you got to send it off to them for verification and everything. So Sandbox integration, doing some experience system stuff. We're letting the community members help build stuff. The feature, we're doing a bunch of merch drops. Like tomorrow, we're launching our core line of merch, which is pretty much the stuff that'll be fairly readily available. The first drop is going to be a limited drop, but after launch, it'll be pretty available whenever. The only difference is tomorrow's the only time that you can get it at holder prices, compared to after launch, you will need to hold an NFT to get it at those discounted prices. Everything else will be more. And then more exclusive drops later that'll be much more limited in quantity and time.
Yeah.
And then beyond that, it's like real life meetups at theme parks. And then we're doing like our own project owned IP creation that will be like a collaborative effort between the community and us in partnership with an animation studio to like create these park mascot characters to like bring value to the overall brand that is Alpha Kingdom.
So if I have it right, there's like a 13,000 supply, right? And the mint price is still to be decided, and the exact mint date is still to be decided, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then pre-sale, they're going to be able to mint up to 3 per wallet?
Yes. There is a burn mechanic immediately that's tied into the reveal. It's a gamified thing. So basically, you can burn up to 3 tokens to upgrade the gear. And I think there's like a side-by-side sneak peek on the Twitter. It's like 3 together.
Gear.
It might be a little earlier than that.
Oh. Okay, I'll try finding it.
Yeah. Oh, it's in the where it was like blurred out, like pixelated up there. It's probably in the comments. But basically, yeah, there it is.
The details are in the comments here.
Oh, maybe not.
That's all right. You go ahead and just
sorry
explain.
about that. I guess we just posted in the Discord.
You're fine.
But basically, you'll upgrade your gear, so it'll go from kind of like that, like the like lower end stuff that you would just buy off the rack up to like hype beast gear, and then the burning decides that, and then there's going to be a game where you essentially choose what traits your token gets, but you won't know what creates what out of the combinations until people start experimenting and sharing with each other. It's just like you're just placing stuff in, seeing what you get, and then trying it again later, and you'll return the same thing, but you won't know that first time until someone does it.
So you're not putting the mechanics out there necessarily, or like you're putting the structure, but you're not putting the details or the formula for stuff. And people are just going to go and try, and then hopefully as a community they can kind of come together and piece it together if they would like to, right?
Yep, exactly.
Okay, and then as they do that, though, as they burn pieces, they're going to unlock more valuable or like more hype or more limited benefits in terms of, or directly in terms of better gear, better apparel and stuff.
Yeah, so we'll get more into it as we get closer, because I'm gonna make some videos and write a Medium article. It's gonna be a whole thing. Okay. But basically, it's a balanced system of like we're calling them park snacks. So you like slot the park snacks into like a certain category, and then if you don't, then you get like a random out of a common pool. If you put one in, you get a random out of like the full pool of traits, and then if you do a combo, you'll return the same one every time you use that combo, and then the burning decides how crazy the gear gets. So for an example, a tier 1 would be like a pair of normal Skechers, and then a tier 3 could be like a pair of Yeezys, and then there's like a specific progression for each trait. Yep.
Just don't get sued out there, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're inspired by sketches
Yeah.
and movies.
No, absolutely. So, can you tell us a little bit about your team? I mean, I know you got to have a lot of team members. I don't know if you can remember all of them on the spot, but can you just tell us about kind of their background, what they're able to do, and then who have you guys kind of hired on specifically to build out like the metaverse integrations?
So, so it's me,
Mm-hmm.
Tacita, and Cam. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just Kenko Fark. I do like the project management stuff.
Sure.
Um, Tacita is a career IT specialist. So she handles like the Discord adminning and basically like all the little technical things that
Okay.
need to happen that don't necessarily need the devs.
Yeah.
Cam already works for a theme park adjacent clothing company, and is a bit of a like theme park influencer, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So he does like the logistics and marketing and management or merch and stuff.
Sure.
And then our artist, she's in. We we found her, and then she's like really integrated into the team completely. Like I feel like I've known her forever now, and we just like started our friendship based on like working on this. But she is in South Africa, and she's incredible. Our devs are Atlas Corp, great team of people. They're fantastic. We've partnered with Digital Gravy Animation Studio to handle all the animation stuff. And then we got our friend Lucithin from back in Mars Cat's Voyage doing our community manager stuff. And I think that's about everyone on the main team.
Cool. And so, do any of them kind of come with building out that metaverse,
Oh, that's right. That's right.
those plots, or are you going to kind of like outsource that as well, bring somebody into the team?
Yeah. We're going to for the main stuff, we're going to be using Land Vault because I'm a really big fan of what they do and
Yeah.
their I don't know, I guess like their views on everything. I just really enjoy working with or talking with them and stuff. So they're great people. We're planning on using them, and then for like the experiences and stuff, we're gonna use various people as we find them, depending on what kind of experience we want to build.
Cool. So I'm looking at this team you have put together, and they're kind of like all over the place. How did you guys originally get together? How did you get linked up with these people? And what kind of started the process? Like, if you can walk us through this beginning phase of, hey, let's start a project. Let's share this vision. Let's get this started. Like, how did that happen with this group with just random group of people thrown together? Is it connections you made through the NFT space?
Yeah. So basically, most of like the founders and Lucifin, we all were basically in Mars Cat's Voyage. We all worked for Mars Cat's Voyage together. And then Cam was just a friend from real life that I happen to know through the NFT space because of the Hundreds BAYC partnership when they did that merch. So that's when I met him. And then, everything in the roadmap and stuff is kind of things that I was developing while working with Mars Cat's Voyage that didn't exactly line up with their vision of what they wanted their project to be. So I just felt that, these things made me really excited about like being inside the NFT space. And I just felt like I needed to get them into the space and let other people, kind of vibe with me to like bring it to be. So that's kind of how it like originally started, is just like all these ideas that I had and then like these people that I knew, and then we just grew because we needed things to happen, and then we searched and searched until we found like the people who not only had the skills to do it but shared the same passion about Alpha Kingdom that we did after they heard about it.
With all the kind of like scams going on and the security breaches and whatnot, what have you guys done to keep your holders and supporters kind of protected on across all your social medias, but especially Discord?
So with Discord, and this is really like Tacita's domain, but everyone with the only people with like full permissions in the Discord are me and Tacita. Everyone who works at a mod level or higher are required to have two-factor. We are constantly providing threads, and like as these scams get more complex and stuff, they like everyone puts out the thread once we figure out how they did it. So we're constantly pushing that to our moderators and everyone on the team so they know like what kind of social engineering we're dealing with at the time. We do like a lot of training, and then beyond that, we ask people who have mod and hire to do like a weekly password change, just to like try to protect everyone. So limited permissions. God, they keep happening so often. Like we have like an alert built into our Discord that you can opt into, so you can like get alerts from hacked Discords, and it's just like multiple times a day. It's outrageous.
Cool. Yeah, I mean that's I feel like that's pretty key these days. To keep your supporters safe, and it's definitely not. Projects aren't required, to refund somebody who may have got scammed from a link or from their Discord being exploited or taken over. But we definitely see that as a gesture. So not only is it keeping the holders and supporters safe, but it's also kind of protecting you guys from having to pay that out from any potential revenue that you get from the mint.
Yeah, it's a very like fickle thing. I feel like there's a lot of and there's a lot of emotions behind it too, because like it sucks. It's every time a Discord gets hacked, it's just like the worst thing in the world. So
yeah,
I definitely feel for like all those people, and we try to do everything that we can to like make sure that we're doing what we can to help prevent it.
Do you have any like Discord challenges going on for users? Like, can they help you guys design merch? Can they help you design a trait? Can they help you design one of the rides or some type of like park setting? What kind of like community collaboration and engagement are you guys trying to get?
So right now we're mostly focused on content that we can provide as founders, because we're still in like kind of in the early growing phase. So as far as like community participation, we're asking community members to help us grow the community and do stuff. So we do have an active invite contest going. We're not doing any grinding or anything. We're not grinding for a allow list or anything like that, but we are about to introduce like an XP thing. So you can like earn XP, and if you get up to like level 33, you'll actually unlock a free mint. And for like the first 50 people that get to level 33, they'll get a free mint, and then
alpha.
A special Discord role. But other than that, we have a series called Carousel of Alpha, where it's kind of like our spin on the get allow list spots from upcoming projects and post the blurb and then run the giveaway bot. We're going a step further by doing a quick interview with those founders, so people can start doing their research, hearing it straight from the founders' mouths. So that's something that we're doing. And then just last Friday, we started a new thing that I can really only do when I'm home and not at work. But it's like Foodie with the Founder Friday. So I hosted a cooking show. I went to culinary school.
Ooh.
So I do a ton of cooking.
Yo,
so
count me in.
Set up a camera and I like had like the whole thing going. It was pretty fun.
Yeah. You know what you guys should do as like content or graphics and animation is like put that as a food cart, like make a Alpha Kingdom food cart, theme food cart, and then you can kind of have that as your scene and background and stuff as you kind of cook.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
That would be awesome.
So what is something like that you can pick that really gets you excited about the project? Like, what are you most looking forward to? Whether it's an event, whether it's a lifetime benefit, whether it's partnering with IRL theme parks, what is it that excites you the most? Or maybe it's not the most, but like one of your top threes.
Okay, so the thing that I get most excited about when thinking about Alpha Kingdom is because we're doing so many things. Like obviously going to theme parks and hanging out with holders, that's like my dream job. So I mean that's pretty rad. But the thing that really gets me excited is the separate IP creation. So we have and a lot of projects do this where they create this IP through their NFTs. They have all these things, and then they try to integrate those NFTs back into the media that they want to create, whether that be like animation, comic books, stuff like that. What we're doing is creating a separate IP that is owned by the project and brand as a whole, that is directly collaborated with between us and the community. Meaning that the park needs mascots, right? Every park has mascots. They have like all these characters. So what we want to do is, what we've already started doing really, because we already have 2 characters. But we will work, like the community will give us feedback and we'll hold votes and we'll do all this stuff. We're like, okay, what kind of character we're going to make? Are we going to do an ape? Are we going to do like a robot? What are we doing? They'll vote on that, and then we'll send that to the animators, and they'll send us back concepts, and then we can post those, and then we can vote on stuff with the community. And then through this massive process of creating this character from concept to finished animation, that will then be used in any sort of media that we produce, any sort of like limited merchandising, any sort of like, I don't know, comic books, web series, stuff like that. These characters will exist for the brand that was in direct collaboration between us and the community. And I think that's like the coolest thing ever. It gets me super pumped every time I think about it.
Yeah, I think it's powerful when it's like used correctly, or leveraged correctly. Tagline, you have a question? I do have another one, but
No,
let you
go
get
ahead.
in there.
You're
Cool.
good.
My thing was about the merch, man. Like, I'm a big merch guy. Like, I love apparel. So what kind of quality are we talking here? Are we talking like screen printing from a Hanes t-shirt that you bought at Walmart? Are we talking about, going out to testing samples from custom manufacturers, like white label manufacturers? And what can you tell us about the merch process thus far? What have you learned? What was your background? What have you learned? And then what would you say the quality of your merch is going to be?
Okay, so like I said, Cam already works with and has all these connections in Orlando that that do merch. We are using a high quality screen printer. It will be screen printed, but it'll be local to them. They're going to handle all of our screen printing, and then the garments that we're using are all. It's not like custom cut or anything. It's it's standard garments, but it's all premium standard, right? So it's like our hoodie is from Independent Supply Co. It's the same one that BAYC uses, that everyone loves. We're using 100% cotton shirt quality on all of our shirts from various brands, just to make sure like we're mixing and matching to make sure that what we intend the shirt to wear like is what it wears like. So the t-shirts are a little bit lighter than the long sleeves, because the long sleeves you want to be like a little bit warmer because you're going to be wearing those on a windy day. When you're wearing a t-shirt and you're going out to a theme park, you don't want to be sweating. So all these, there's been a lot of consideration. So our quality is not custom cut or like some crazy like hand stitched stuff, but it's definitely the higher end of that like standard screen printing process.
Premium standard. Okay. And then like you said, like practical as well. Okay, cool. And then you said, just again to reiterate the information, especially for people who weren't here because it was pretty early on, you guys are doing like a little pre-sale for a merch or like an exclusive drop really soon. And then what is the next one?
So this one is now, and then it's tomorrow. It starts tomorrow. So for a week, they'll be available. You can go in, you can buy them, you can get them for holder prices. Next time they'll be available will be after launch, and then the next big merch launch will be a limited edition piece that will have an integrated mechanic that I can't really talk about right now because it's like it's going to be a big thing. It's going to reward holders for holding. It's going to be really cool, and it's going to be super limited. So
awesome. So the exclusive merch drop kind of happens tomorrow. You said, do you get it at holder prices? Is that the benefit, or is there a benefit for ordering this merch and you get like an extra benefit towards the mint, or that is the benefit?
No, the benefit is that it's less. This merch drop is less so about us making money.
Yeah.
Because that's not really what we're intending to do. What we intend to do is just get the merch out into the world and let people know that this is what we're offering. This is what our merchandise will feel like, will be like. And this is what you can expect from Alpha Kingdom going forward. So it's really just a proving ground for us with this particular drop.
All right. So here we do have a little bit of a schedule. Was this from last week or is this for this week? This is
That's this week.
Yep. So we do have a little bit of schedule. I'll go ahead and put this in the chat for those who want to know more. And then my other kind of feedback, or not that you asked for it, but I do like to provide. Let's see, where did my window go? I lost it. Oh, here it is. So this is, and you may have heard me talk about it a little bit earlier if you were watching the stream, I'm not sure, but it's the full body thing, right? So do you guys plan for the default image of the NFT to be full body, or is this going to be like an additional asset that you can download via some server, repository, API?
So the actual NFT will be full body, but I know how important it is to have those PFP assets available easily, because back in Mars Cat's Voyage, I did a lot of cropping for people and like a lot of manipulation myself within like a program, and it took a ton of time. That's why for this and to get those PFPs, we're going to have a DApp that will let you go in, connect your wallet, and then you can download the PFP versions of your part guests, and that will also integrate into like changing backgrounds and doing like a bunch of crazy stuff as we like progress with the project. So yeah, that was definitely a consideration.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear. What it really reminds me of is the way that, like, the Robotos have done it. So I am showing it on the screen, not to cross promo them or anything. They're already existing for quite a while. But Robotos was kind of like one of the first to do that, like, animated PFP in this style. But not only that, like, they have a DApp for you to go and gain additional assets. So I click on one of my Robotos here. And then I can get my SVG, I can get my PNG, I can get only the head, transparent head, I can get a portrait, so wallpaper or landscape. So this is, additional assets to my Roboto that they make easily accessible for me. So that way, if I did want to use only the head, I could do that. And then they also have another DApp where you can constantly change the clothes to match maybe it's a holiday or something going on within the NFT scene. So that's kind of the idea that you guys want to do here.
Yep, exactly that. Because like suits on for Christie's and stuff, that was super fun. But I had to put on a bunch of suits manually, and it was great to help out. But I mean, it does take a ton of time. That's why I want to make it available to each holder specifically, easily, that they can just log in, get what they want, customize it the way they want, and run the PFP the way they want to represent themselves.
I guess one of my last questions here is, what difficulties have you faced so far, and what, if anything, has kind of been dropped from your roadmap or project scope, or heavily changed?
The first hard thing was just like finding the right people to help us build, right? So us founders, we're not artists, we're not devs, we're just people with a passion and a vision that can do the things that we do well, but don't necessarily have these other skills. So finding those people was very difficult, but in the end we found like the perfect people. So super pumped about that. Now the difficulty is really just like getting ourselves out through the noise of the space as a whole. There's just so much happening now these days, so it's just really been hard. But we've been doing like a lot of Twitter spaces, a lot of things that we can try to organically like get ourselves out there and known. But as far as the roadmap goes, we haven't cut anything, because the way that we've designed the roadmap is it's completely scalable to the success of the project, meaning that if we mint out, it could be this grand thing where all of everything is done to absolute like my perfect point of like vision, and like we got all this crazy stuff, and we're visiting theme parks like all over the country and the world, and it's like this big grand thing. But even if it doesn't mint out and we have a much smaller community, we can pivot and we can do everything that we set out to do, just on like a smaller scale. The quality will always be there, it's just not as like big, if you know what I mean.
Sure. Yeah, and that's good to hear. Like people in the chat maybe they may or may not be starting their own project, but just to hear some of the difficulties that you guys have to go through that we sometimes don't think about. We're just like buy, mint, degen, and we don't really have time, or we don't make the time to think, okay, if I were starting my own project, what would I do? Where would I go? Who would I contact? So I feel like that's some of the information that's missing out there. And I know we didn't cover a lot of it, but your answer definitely gives us a sneak peek into what that is like, what that experience is like. So yeah, for me, it's just, all I can say is, take it day by day, do it task by task, keep breathing, man. And the space is going to space.
Yeah.
NFTs are going to NFT. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world, but, a project like this, it's about spreading positivity. It's about, bringing the community together. So I don't think you guys have anything to stress over. The art, the color palette, everything that you guys are doing right now is really attractive, man. So the roadmap is even unique itself. I think it's just a matter of reaching out to that correct niche, right? To that correct market. And so I think you're not a marketing problem, but it's just a marketing challenge, especially like you said, in the noise of this space. So it's not so much the project itself. I think it's just, being successful in your marketing and attracting the right people, because you also don't want to attract, people who are just going to come in and instant flip or try to instant flip, and then they're wrecking the floor. Not as, as a project founder or owner, you really care about the floor because you know the long-term value of your project, but the negative optics that can have on your project, right?
Yeah.
The impact that it can have.
I kind of disagree with we don't talk about the floor thing, because it's a metric, and it needs to be a metric. It tells you the market sentiment of your project. So while it's not everything to me, it's definitely not something, especially coming from like a degen background. Like, I know how it is. So
yeah, and that's another good thing to know, is like you've participated in a space, like you said. Harry Swan, shout out Harry Swan, big influence. Like, he got you into the space, and you participated there for a little while before you started this project.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Tagline, anything?
Yeah, so I just have one last question as well. So we see a lot of these projects, kind of like a popular phrase is under promise and over deliver. Do you guys have everything pretty much laid out in the roadmap and fully transparent, or do you guys have a few tricks up your sleeve that you're just kind of you're holding the cards tight? You're not letting everything out yet.
I disagree with under promise over deliver. I think it's I don't know. I don't think it's like sneaky or anything. I just think that especially now, maybe not back when, but maybe now, it's really hard. Like, people want to know why your project is valuable. So you can't really keep too much aside. There are mechanics and there are mechanisms that we're going to implement in the future, but everything that we are offering is transparent. You might not know how we're going to do it, and it's going to be fun the way we do it, but at least you know exactly from day one, this is what Alpha Kingdom is, this is what we're going to do, this is how we're going to do it. And, that's super important to me as a founder, to make sure that people who are investing in Alpha Kingdom know what they're investing into.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Well, awesome, man. So that was Alpha Kingdom. That's Zeke joining us to discuss his project, and he allowed us into a bit of alpha. Level 33 free mint. There's an exclusive merch drop happening at holder prices starting tomorrow. We have a 13,000 supply. Mint price is yet to be decided. Mint date yet to be decided, but it's going to be like late Q1, early Q2. Yep. And in pre-sale, you're going to be able to do 3 mints per wallet. So, I think Zeke knows his stuff, and Cam, or I forgot your team member, but he sounds like he knows quite a bit about merch. So that's what excites me as well, especially given this color palette. We literally just talked about it earlier when we were talking like pastels and flat. Like, man, that gets me excited.
Yeah.
I just want to buy some already. So I'll be there. We'll be watching the project, and we'll stay updated with you guys, and we'd love to have you back once it gets closer to mint.
Yeah, we're super pumped. I can't express enough how much I appreciate you guys inviting me on. Love it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for dropping the alpha, man, and you take it easy. Have a nice day.
Yeah,
you too. Thanks, buddy.
Yo.
Later, guys.
Yo, can we give it up for Zeke? Get some GGs in the chat, maybe. Get some W's, get some GGs, NFA, BYOA, everything you got.
Yo, all of it. Yeah, that was good. He's he definitely knows his stuff. It looks like they got a good team together. Looking forward to tracking that and seeing how it pans out.
Yeah, I mean, it's a unique project, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's not geared towards kids, right? But it's like it's really vibey. It's fun. It's like really bright and airy. Like it's just so different than a lot of the projects that we see at the moment. And I'm interested to see how it goes. You know, I don't think that they've done a huge marketing push. You know, obviously they've been active on social media, but it's not like a huge marketing push yet. I think they're still working on stuff behind the scenes before they really get amped up and ready to go. I don't know if they're on schedule or behind schedule because they didn't say, like, they didn't give a certain date, which is, you know, really good by them. I'd rather, you know, be able to tell you exactly when we expect to go live. But yeah, again, I'm hyped for the merch, bro. That sounds nice.
I know, man. I know you love your merch. So that's gonna be fun to see. But I kind of want to make a transition. We just had this long conversation of this future project that looks pretty successful. Looks like it's going to do pretty well. Let's kind of position the other way. Let's look at a project that just revealed this weekend.
All right.
It was hyped up, and then the reveal happened, and it just became an instant meme. And I'm sure chat already knows what I'm hinting at. You probably already know as well. Mm-hmm. We're going to talk about Pixelmon.
Oh, Pixelmon.
Oh, man. So, for those who weren't here for the release for Pixelmon, it was a Dutch auction starting at 3 ETH. They basically kind of like somehow hyped it up where it sold out pretty much at 3 ETH. I think they had some mechanics where if you bought in the first 500, you get a certain benefit. So they kind of added to FOMO. Then once people saw the mints going off, then people were like, "Oh, this is going to sell out. Let's just buy it now." And then that's kind of what added into them selling out at 3 ETH. Well, they just revealed this weekend. Have you seen these?
Yeah, I've seen.
I'm sure you have. Yeah.
I'm gonna let the chat know right now. Like, it's a spoiler. It's absolute dog meat. Way to get rugs. Yo, everybody who paid 3 ETH for these boys. GG's, you're not gonna make it. I mean, we told you, everybody told you. This is what you get for paying 3 ETH for something like this. I mean, I don't know what else to say.
I mean, look at these. Look at how beautiful and artistic and well done these are. Like, oh man. Well, someone paid 3 ETH for that.
Can we get some FUD in the chat?
What a complete...
We get some FUD in the chat.
What a complete flop. Like, this project, it just became an overnight meme once the reveal happened, and it was just kind of those instant things where it's like it revealed and people were like, okay. Everyone kind of thought it was already kind of ruggish, had those vibes to it, but once the reveal happened, it was like, okay, yep, it's for sure a rug. It's guaranteed. And,
I cannot believe it, bro.
What's crazy is the founder, Cyber, he kept defending it. You know, he made 70 million on this, and they're like, well, you know what? After the feedback from the reveal, we're going to go ahead and we're going to hold back 2 million from our 70 million, and we're going to focus that on new art for the NFTs. Like, you know, how generous of them. You know, shout out to that guy. That's bold.
They're really thoughtful and kind with that.
But
yeah,
it just made me laugh too. He was blaming OpenSea, saying that OpenSea couldn't handle the 3D models that they had planned. So that's why this is like a scaled down version of it. I'm like, we've all seen 3D models on OpenSea that look fantastic on the NFTs. Like, it's not OpenSea's problem, it's your problem.
I mean, you can even look at Cyberkongs, right? Like Cyberkongs 3D voxel, even ray tracing or some synthetic ray tracing, shadows and everything. Like, there's no excuse.
Yeah. Oh man, I am so glad. I'm pretty sure everyone we know dodged the bullet. I dodged the bullet. You dodged the bullet. So thankfully, no one we know, I think, lost money on that. But
if anybody I knew bought this project, minted this project at 3 ETH, I'm pretty sure I would ban them for at least 2 weeks. Like there's no excuse. We told everybody, don't buy this. Like, stay away. What are you doing?
Yeah, it looks like it came out, like, people did more digging into it. They basically just paid someone on Fiverr to do, like, put these together. They paid for, like, a promo video for a game that's not actually their game. Like, it's just, it's just the whole scheme behind it was just to build FOMO, to build this illusion that they had this game in the works, and all of it was just to get a nice payday of $70 million, which I guess props to them, it worked. But he may have some legal issues coming, because the founder did tweet, and there's several screenshots, people keeping track of it. He like literally tweeted out in December. He said, "Buy Pixelmon. This is financial advice." Like he said that phrase, "This is financial advice," which you can't really be throwing that out there. And I'm curious. There's a lot of people that lost money and a lot of people that are upset, and we may see some legal issues come out of this one on him, for him.
Again, we're not lawyers, but yeah, it's pretty tough scenes at the moment, especially with that tweet. And this just goes to show, I mean, not this space. It's impossible to kind of like have regulation. You know, you can't determine who or who cannot drop an NFT project, but as a community, I feel like we have to set some standards and know that if there's like an Anon, or even I think he was self-claimed as doxxed or something like that, or somebody knew who he was. But anyways, like without seeing some type of deliverable, some, you know, hard material demos and whatnot, we should not be paying those kind of prices before, you know, for mint. Like, there's no way.
This is the one that everyone's seen around Twitter. This zombie going around. It's just, it's so insane that people paid for this, and that he's there defending it too. It's
the people buying this at 3 ETH. They could have spent half of that. They could have went to a counselor, and they could have fixed themselves and fixed whatever is wrong about them to think that that was a good idea.
Yeah, it was insane. Obviously it's a rug. It's a scam. Stay far away from it. Don't look at this thinking, hey, maybe it's a good time to buy the dip. Do not buy the dip on this. It's going to dip further. It's going to go. This thing is going to go to zero, deservedly so.
Yo, rug alert. Yo, we need an animation for that. Yo, Jeremy, write it down. Wait, why am I talking about this?
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yo, Jeremy. Yeah, we need some more sirens. I know you pulled those out on Friday or Wednesday. We need some more of those sirens out here.
We need a regular animation.
So speaking of kind of not really rug, but some more, I guess, drama, you could say, we had a pretty popular DMCA happen over the weekend, and it happened on a popular project. So we have the Crypto Moris. They got DMCA'd. They got delisted from OpenSea, and the Moris have been around for a few months at least. I think it was like maybe October when they minted. They've been around for a while. Gary Vee bought into them. They got to a 2E floor at one point, and they've been hovering around that 0.8 to 1.5 floor since then. They got delisted from OpenSea. Are you owning any Crypto Moris? Have you ever?
Never, but you know, maybe it's a good time. I don't know. I need to check the price, but I did see that they got delisted, and it was a DMCA for a trait, right? A specific trait.
Yeah, and I think you maybe have missed your opportunity to buy in.
No, that's all right.
It's all right. But if I want to actually look at it right now.
What did they dip down to? Do you know?
So on LooksRare, I was tracking it on LooksRare. Let me see if they're actually back up on OpenSea. They're supposed to be.
They were like 0.7-ish, 0.75-ish.
Yeah, they were before all this happened. They were around 0.85. That was like kind of the price point.
Yeah,
and then
that's
on LooksRare,
way down from what they were.
Way down,
even
absolutely.
before the DMCA,
because they were hovering around the ETH for a while. Looks like they got back up to 0.85. Last night they actually got up to 1 ETH. But the lowest I saw them during this was I think around 0.45, 0.4 in that area.
Whoa!
They got down
after
really
the
low.
DMCA.
Yeah, they had a pretty this is like immediately after the DMCA. People just went to LooksRare to just like dump it, thinking it wasn't going to be recovered. It was a lost cause, stolen art. Let's just get out while we can. Which, looking back, I remember looking at the price, thinking like, oh, man, I feel like this project's been around for a while. It's got pretty big backing. I looked more into the DMCA stuff. I didn't really see it quite much, and it's actually popular artists and NFTs that did the DMCA. Which we'll talk about here in a bit, but I had the thought like I should probably buy the dip. I didn't pull the trigger. I own several of these already, so I just figured that was enough exposure. I don't want to overdo it just in case it never recovered. But yeah, they got down to 0.4, 0.45. If you bought then, it was definitely a good purchase. And kind of the update we had just actually this morning, or no, it was last night. So looks like so Iwan is the founder, he's the creator of the Moris. So the artist that did the DMCA was Sabbath, and it was the skull logo. It was that skull with like the heart, the X, and then it's got the like the loopy jaw, the wavy jaw, and so Sabbath did the DMCA based off of that. Looks like they kind of came to an agreement last night and just decided to move forward. This is Iwan's tweet announcing that, and also Sabbath also tweeted about it saying that the DMCA is going to be rescinded ASAP with OpenSea, so they should be relisted very soon. But it's good to see, I guess, them come to an agreement and kind of resolve this internally, not have to take it to the courts. I love seeing that, because in NFTs, I feel like we're all, you kind of want to keep it as a nice community. And there wasn't, I looked at the two traits, and there wasn't like a clear, like, this is obviously stolen, it was copy pasted, it was just traced over. They didn't pull a crypto chicks or anything, right? It was just it was just like a skull that had similar, like a wavy jaw, and that's kind of what it was. But so I'm glad to see it's resolved and looks like they've recovered. And I kind of think long-term outlook, I think this is good for the crypto Moris. It gave them a lot of exposure on Twitter. I don't know if you scrolled Twitter anytime over the last 24 hours, you probably saw quite a bit of this. I saw people change their profile pictures to Moris. So I think this honestly is going to end up pretty good for them. Once they get released on OpenSea, we may see a run up to maybe back up to 2 ETH or 1.5.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard nothing but positive things about crypto Moris, besides this conflict, and then the way that they handled this seems pretty positive. I don't know all the details, but, just seeing the tweets like that, it seems like they handled it pretty professionally. Again, the details will come out, but I'd imagine maybe they just came out to like a payout settlement, or maybe it's like royalties on any NFT with that trait kind of sold. I don't know what it may be, but it's cool to see that there is a resolution without too much toxicity or negativity. I can't handle personally. I can't handle another long-term PFP project, so I don't know if I'll buy in, or if I do, I'm just gonna like buy it and forget it. But yeah, I mean, the vibe was always there with those guys. Like, I think that's a much better like dead kind of feel versus like Deadheads and what they were doing, or some other brands. Like, if you're gonna be dead, at least make it cute.
yeah, absolutely. I like the look of them, and I do want to give props to the founders and creators of the Moris. They after they announced that they were DMCA'd, they didn't put the artists on blast. They knew it was Sabbath, but they didn't want to. They didn't really say it on Twitter. They just said they're not going to reveal it. And once their followers kind of got wind of it, some of their followers started not attacking, but kind of tweeting at Sabbath or going to their posts. And the founders like, hey, stop doing that. Let's just we're going to solve this. Let us take care of it, but don't go in attack mode. Let us just solve this civilly. So I want to give them props to that. They handle it very professionally.
Yeah, absolutely. And Chili Brother with the little alpha right here is cute vibes. Might be the only thing that I value more than utility.
I mean, look at that penguin picture. How can you argue with that? He's sticking to his word.
Hey, Chili's a tried and true veteran. He's made it in this space. He's just trying to give y'all the alpha.
So we had on, I think it was Saturday or I think it was Saturday. We had a parallel drop, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know you've been big on
yes,
this.
Sir.
You gave the alpha to our followers. Say, yo, I'm not going to remind you, but I'm still going to remind you three more times.
Bro, I couldn't find it in my heart to not remind them. I was like,
I know.
Man.
It was like 2 months ago. You're like, I'm saying this once. I'm not going to remind anyone ever again. But you kept reminding. You're too good of a guy. W's for Yo Jeremy. But we had the parallel drop. Were you successful? Did you grab some packs? There were some issues.
I did grab some packs. I was a pretty nice collector, and I definitely only grabbed the 2 that were meant for me. I definitely didn't multi-account or anything like that.
No, never.
I'm never too greedy, so I did get my 2 packs, and I bought them for 0.15. The drop did get delayed. It was supposed to be at 5 p.m. Eastern initially, and then it was moved back to an hour, 6 p.m. Eastern. They were 0.075 each. There was 1 tier of packs. Each pack comes with 10 cards. And it's not a Web 2 claim, so it's not a gas war or anything like that. For better or worse, there's pros and cons to go about it. But if it was a gas war, I don't know if this would be as successful, to be honest. I don't know if the secondary would be as healthy. So again, there were problems in kind of claiming and reserving your packs, but it was the most like equal distribution that they've had in a pack drop. It took a while to get everything going. You know, there's a lot of problems with the site, and people didn't know if their packs were reserved or not because the page was airing out, and then all of a sudden, like if you just waited after you clicked reserve and did your puzzle, like it would just tell you at the bottom like 2 packs reserved. Yo, Jeremy's sister. She said that was my friend's first met, and he pulled a prime and a legendary. Yo, GG's, give it up for that guy.
I'm gonna be honest. I have no idea what that means because you're the parallel guy. This is your project. I know this is one of your like favorite projects. I've never been involved in parallel before. That I've heard about it. I've never bought in. This is the first time I actually was able to snag 2 packs, and I actually got in. These are my first ones, and as a treat, I saved them. I didn't rip them yet. So we're gonna open some parallel packs.
Let's do it.
And I need you, Jeremy. I need you to guide me to tell me, is this good or is it dog water? Is it good? What am I looking for here?
If you're gonna share your screen here, I'll send you a link in Discord real quick with the rarity picture.
Okay.
But yeah, y'all see we got a lot of chat going on. Snow said, I did not get anything good. Josh said, thanks to Jeremy for the alpha on that. Got some killer cards. Josh, I know, pulled a prime at the very least. He also told me what else he got, but I know he definitely got a prime. Distress Pickle says, the card opening experience is, my opinion, the best in NFTs. Yo, coming from Pickle. Sheesh. Yo, that is high praise coming from Mr. Pickle here.
That man loves to FUD everything. If it moves, if it talks, if it shows up on a screen, that man FUDs it. So that's huge.
If you think I'm a fudder, Mr. Pickle here. Yo, this is high praise, and I do have to agree with him at the moment. Can it be improved upon? Definitely. Like, we're gonna see some high budget, teams come into space and do their thing. But at the moment, I kind of think like Frontier and Parallel. And again, I own NFTs in both of those projects. But one of the things that I love about those projects is that the experience is so freaking cool.
Oh, that was loud.
Here we go. Oh, and the audio's not on, by the way, but that's okay.
Could you hear that sound in there?
No.
Okay, it just blared on my screen. That's why I jumped a little bit. It caught me off guard. I thought the chat could hear that too, but nope, just me. Looks like I'm crazy. All right, so is this just 1 pack or is this both packs?
That is 1 pack, sir.
Okay, so is there anything like Top Shot where it has like a color? Like I see these colors change above it. Does that show me like a rarity, kind of how Top Shot does, or is it just random?
So I think the best one that you're gonna have in there is maybe like a. Hold on, I did see legendary FE. I'm kind of trying to watch your screen at the same time. Yeah, I think you might have got a legendary FE in there.
Okay. All right. Well, we're just gonna open some of these.
I can't tell if that's legendary or rare, but. Oh, got a dupe. Okay. That's the Ogden core. If you click on that one, it's gonna kind of zoom it up and tell you, okay, that's out of 3,500, and that is a rare.
Okay. Gotcha. So that's a pretty decent one then, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. I mean, you're not rich.
I'm not rich.
But
the rich isn't getting richer? What? As JV likes to say.
Should we turn up the music a little bit? Let me turn up the music.
Yeah.
There we go. Got it. Yo, pop off, King. Let's go. That's a common. So blues are trash, but we stack those. We stack those.
We stack them. That's all right.
Because again, I'm not going to be able to explain the whole prime proposal and how the play to earn goes in this stream, but if you successfully bought a parallel pack and you're not going to sell all your cards, please take the time to go read their white paper for their upcoming game and token, so that way you can understand the tokenomics. There's also a team out there, Parallel DAO, who does a great job of breaking it down and explaining to you in basic terms. So I would suggest you go out there and read that. I'll try to put the link in here. But yeah, every single card, even if you don't play the game, earns you a stake in that ecosystem.
Looks like I got some paper hands. They're just calling me out, right? Yeah, I definitely, Parallel has always intrigued me. I definitely need to look at the white paper and look more into this now that I finally got some packs for my own. I'm not gonna. I didn't buy these to turn around and flip it or anything. So I'm looking forward to kind of digging in and seeing what I can do with them.
I think that's another rare right there, universal, and then you got a. Yeah, that's a rare, and then I think you got an
That's out of
SC
2000.
somewhere here.
Yeah, I saw
kind
the
of see what it is.
A white one.
Yeah, white, but it's kind of hard to tell. So go ahead and click in there. What does it say at the top above the name?
It says uncommon.
Uncommon. Okay, so you got an uncommon SC. So uncommon special
1,000.
edition. Yeah.
Yeah.
And for every special edition, by the way, you are going to be able to redeem special editions for physical holo cards.
Okay. Cool. Well, there we go. There's a parallel pack opening. I kind of held on to them for the stream. I'm sure everyone ripped theirs right away. Let us know in the chat if you guys pulled anything great. It sounds like we had some listeners that got some primes, got some legendaries, which is huge.
Yeah, if you guys tweeted it or whatever, drop the link in the chat. We'll be glad to take a look at them. But yeah, no PLs or primes for Taggy. That's unfortunate, but at the same time, got some pretty solid ones in there. 0.15 is definitely not going to put a dent in Tag's bags.
Yo, chill. Honestly, I'm just glad I got packs. It sounds like it was a pretty rough experience for a lot of people, and some people missed out. So I'm just glad, kind of back in the early Top Shot days, hey, if you got packs, you probably shouldn't complain. So I'm just glad I got some packs, and now I can look into them and see what I can do with them.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty cheap entry point, right? Like if I said, okay, you can get into one of the most hype upcoming gaming projects for 0.15 and have like 40 cards. Like it's a pretty cheap entry. You actually don't need to own the cards to be able to participate in play, but that's going to give you a bigger and better stake in the game, and you're going to be able to earn tokens. And I'm not going to say income, but you will be able to earn tokens from owning those cards.
Oh, you don't want to use the words passive income, right?
No,
we try to avoid that phrase, right?
Dude, I despise those tweets where it's like, y'all were trying to FUD this project, and like, I staked my 5 cats, and now I'm earning 5,000 kitty tokens per day, and if I transfer that to 20,000 litter coins, and I sell my litter coins, that's gonna make me potentially $200 per week, which is basically minimum wage.
Congrats, pop off king, right?
Passive income.
I can't wait to like people, the IRS pops up and they try to tax you or do whatever, all this passive income, and you're like, oh no, it's never. This is just there's no utility for these coins. It's just an online coin I can use in the metaverse. And they're like, sir, here's 500 tweets of you saying, look at all this passive income I'm getting, and you literally charted out your passive income. Like, all right, okay, dude.
I'm totally kind of fudding here, but he did get a prime card, but he got a card back. He said it's like getting a Rolex box and there's dirt inside. Like getting a Rolex box and then it ends up being a fossil.
Ooh, that's tough. All right, so our last segment for the day, what we usually do on Mondays, we're gonna review and rate some trades. What do you think about that?
Let's get it.
So I tried to be a little bit more diverse than some of the ones we picked. One I got the very first one that we're gonna review is just this person traded for like it's basically a salad. They just got everything in there. They got the lettuce, they got tomatoes, they got the olives, they got carrots, they got cucumbers. They got a huge thing for a steak, pretty much.
Yeah.
So let's pull that up. So this one, and I think we've seen this doodle. Didn't we see this doodle like 2 weeks ago? The devil horns doodle.
Well, we at least saw the trait.
We saw
I
the
don't know,
trait.
is that a 1 of 1? I don't know, but
that may be the doodle. Chili
We saw
says it's
the
the
trait.
exact. Yeah, Chili says it's the exact doodle. So this
okay,
one was
cool.
just traded, a week or two ago, and they traded for a bag. They got 3 little lemon friends, 2 cool pets, a crypto mori, another doodle, a Macy, and 2 alien friends. So like I said, they traded just a valuable, rare trait doodle for just a bag of, they got a doodle back plus a ton of extra. And I know you and I probably aren't good on like doodle
Quick
rare
maths.
prices. Yeah, quick math, but just initial response, which side are you leaning?
I think I'm gonna go to the right, man. I think I'm taking my little lemons. I don't care about the other stuff in there, but I'm taking my little lemons for the doodles to the moon. No,
Little
but
Lemons, we're going for the cute avatar, right? That's the best one.
yeah, no, but personally, yeah, I could care less about having a top tier rarity. For in this trade, it seems like there's some pretty solid projects on the other side, especially with the cool pets upside. You still get stay involved in doodles, right? You get a less rare doodles back. Crypto Moris, we just talked about those. Alien Friends, not so sure on. I don't want to get attacked by the chat because I know Alien Friends go strong. They go hard.
Yeah.
They are cute. I've never looked into too much into their project. Little Lemon Friends are another kind of like meme thing to me. But I know they spread a lot of positivity. And like anytime I see them on the timeline, they're always like helping each other out, shouting each other out. So I'm going with the right.
Yeah, I think I'm going the right as well, because if I did this trade, I'm probably keeping the doodles, I'm keeping the Macy, and I'm keeping maybe the cool pets. I'm just going to sell off the small things and maybe get back 5 to 7 ETH just off of those alone. Kaz, I see your comment in here. Kaz, I was going to put that trade in here. It's too long. That trade, there's so much to go down, and like they couldn't fit in one tweet. The GIF, there's one part of the GIF where it's just it looks like it's the exact same picture for like 30 seconds, because it's just like I think it's the land that it's like a placeholder image. But we can talk about it here at the end. Did you see the trade that Kaz was talking about?
I did not.
So someone traded a Basie for Kaz. You can let us know the exacts or the details, but a bag. And when I say bag, I guess not a bag. They traded for a full-on Santa sack of BYO pills. NFTs. They got like a ton of pills. They got a ton of their apostles. They got a ton of the land. But it was like maybe one ape for like 20 or 30 BYO pills assets. Like it was huge trade.
That sounds insane, to be honest. Yeah. And the fact that, I think BYO pills started much later than Bored Apes, and obviously the entry cost was a lot lower, but to see them kind of like explode, and some people think, okay, it's impossible for me to get a Bored Ape at this moment, right? But sure, it's impossible for a lot of normal people to go and outright buy a Bored Ape, but this just goes to show you like there are plays that you can make in this space with enough conviction and leverage and whaling, at a low entry price that you can potentially trade into a Bored Ape. So all hope is not lost.
Looks like he said it was like about 95 ETH of the current floor value of all the pills assets, which is pretty similar to a floor, slightly higher than a floor ape. So it seems like a pretty fair trade, especially if it's not their only ape and they're trying to diversify. Then that's probably a good move on their part.
Yeah.
All right, so we got our next trade. So we've got a doodle. We're going back to the doodles.
Yo, doodles.
And a Clone X.
Doodles are just trading assets, bro.
They are.
We see a lot of mutants in here too.
We do. So we had a doodle, a Clone X for a Blue Beams mutant, and I think this is an M. I think this is an M1 mutant. So it's an M1 Blue Beams.
But the Blue Beams, Yeah.
So which one? I mean, it's kind of. I know we're partial towards the apes and they may be mutants, but I mean, you're getting back. I know you like the Clone X's. You're getting the Clone X and a doodle back for one.
First reaction, I think I'm sticking with the doodle and the Clone X. I think kind of all three projects here. Actually, I can't really say it for doodles because I don't believe it, but I think two of those projects are kind of undervalued. I know, market's doing a little weird thing at the moment. I still think Clone X has a lot to grow. Maybe a lot of people don't like their their social media or their outreach or anything like that. But in terms of the development side and that team, I mean, they're pretty stacked and they just continue to build and crank out. We haven't even seen like a snippet of what they're building, what they've yet to release. And same thing on the mutant side. We actually don't have a lot of insight into what they're building in the background. We do have a picture of a roadmap, but they also build pretty quietly. So I think mutants are still undervalued. But I'm just going with the left, the doodles and Clone X.
Yeah, I think I'm I think I'm also agreeing with you, and looks like I think we're too similar. We both would rather have multiple assets than a one single rare asset, right? It kind of allows us to be more diversified and.
Yeah.
But I know you're more into Clone X. Does this Clone X, or anyone in the chat let us know too? Does this have any particular rare traits that makes it more valuable than a floor Clone X? Because I don't really know much about the actual traits about the Clone X's.
I don't think so. I don't think so. This one has like a really good trait from what I know. But yeah, chat can correct us. And look, like if it's multiple assets but from smaller, lesser known or bigger risk projects, I would stick with the rare. But in terms of, solidified projects with good backing and good support, like, yeah, I'm probably going to go with the one who has a little bit more upside or and diversity, because one of the ways that you can protect yourself from market crashes or project crashes is diversity. So that don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah. All right, we've got two more. This is gonna be our last one, but we have a viewer submission for the last one. So this one is, let's pull it up. So we're back to Clone X now. So it's Clone X Vial.
It's a vial though. Unrevealed.
It's a vial.
Is this BSB?
It's for 1 ETH and a Macy.
Yo, 1 ETH though.
No, that 1 ETH, that made the difference. So I don't know what the vial floor is at, but last I saw it was like 25 ETH or something. Is it still in that range?
BSB could tell us.
Yeah, BSB, he's got like 20 of these vials still. Let's go back to this mutant. So it's 1 ETH plus.
It is 24.9 at the moment, sir.
Okay, so right at 25 pretty much. Okay, so yeah, so you're basically trading 25 ETH for a mutant and 1 ETH, which it's kind of a clean mutant. The hat. This is the M1 red hat, so it's an M1 mutant. It's probably some pretty similar value, honestly, right around there. So I guess it's just, what would you rather have? You have with the Clone X file, you're basically getting that risk. You can mint it, and you can have a 200 ETH Clone X come out of that, or you can mint it, and it's a 12 ETH, just a floor Clone X. So it's kind of it's more of a risk play on the side of the mutant. So if I'm making this one, I would rather have the sure thing and not take that big of a risk.
Yeah. I was hoping we would disagree on this one, but you brought up like a really good point that I was hoping that, one of us would share with the viewers, is that there is that unrevealed risk. When you pop that vial, you have no idea what you're going to get. Mm-hmm. And just because that vial is 25 ETH does not mean the floor for that project is 25 ETH. It's probably roughly half that, right? Yeah. So there is a lot of downside. So if you are a gambler, or if that difference is not gonna put put a hole in your pocket or anything like that, then sure, go for it. But like Taggy said, I'm gonna go with the thing that has less risk and probably just hold on to the mutant.
I probably would take the Clone X vial if the gap wasn't so big, but I don't know why the gap between a floor Clone X and the mint vial it's basically 2 floor Clone X's is 1 mint vial, which is, in my mind, it's a huge gap. Like Clone X floor is 12, 13 ETH, and then the mint vial is 25, which is, that's such a big risk by just using that mint vial.
Yeah, it goes to show you, like, kind of what holders are in Clone X, right? And who's holding on to those vials. They know how to kind of like inflate, even if they don't believe in the project long term. They're not paper handers that are going to drop the floor on those vials. Right. So
cool. Well, we both agree. Maybe on this next one we can disagree. I mean, maybe we'll have to fake disagree just to have some kind of argument. But all right. So this last one. This one was sent to us by Pickle in the chat.
Yo, Pickle. Thanks for sending it over, my guy.
Yeah, appreciate that. So this one doesn't even fit on the tweet, but let's just watch it. So it's a Blue Beams ape. Looks like it's a set. Blue Beam set.
Okay. That's pretty hot.
Ooh. Ooh.
Yo. Banger. Oh my god.
Okay. Well, that went by real quick.
Wait. Yo, run it back, Turbo.
Let's run it back. I'll pause between one. So this one's pretty easy. It's the Blue Beam set. So it's the matching.
Okay.
And then we've got, 10 ETH. Yo, Trippy Ape. Okay. Trippy Ape. Diamond Grills. World of Women.
Wow. The
Oh.
time is wow.
I think this is the matching mutant for the ape? I think it is.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah, because this is the other mutant, so it's a trippy set.
Okay. I don't get that one, Chief. I don't get that one. I'm going with the multiple board apes, the World of Women, the mutants. Like I don't care about the perfect set on the left side. A lot of people do, and that's okay. I don't care about having the perfect set.
This is like Hunter says. This is like a blockbuster NBA trade. This is trading James Harden for Ben Simmons type of deal right here. This is like a once in a while deal.
This
but,
is
I mean,
like James Harden for like a full nice set of role players, like starting role players.
I mean, in my mind, I'm still gonna take. I'm with you. It's not even close to me. I'm taking the trippy because you get the trippy set. It's not just the trippy 8 by itself. It's the trippy set and a diamond girl and throw in a wow and 10 ETH.
And a wow.
Like
Forget
in my
everything
mind,
else. You have a wow.
like I feel like the blue beams and the trippy would be pretty similar value, right? Like in my head, and you have both complete sets. So it maybe would be, maybe one of them throws a 10 ETH on top of that. But this person added a ton. This person really wanted that blue
Yeah, I was
beams.
about to say. Somebody imprinted on that blue beams trait, and they had to have it.
That's yeah. They paid up for what this is probably their forever ape, and that's their ape forever. But yeah, that's a huge trade. Yeah, Hunter says throw it in Izuki. Maybe throw in 0.2. Let's make it even. You gotta add that 0.2 to make it right?
Yeah, I think this guy got fleeced personally. I'm sticking with the right. But yeah, that's a submission from Pickle. He just tagged us throughout the week on Twitter, and he just said, "Hey, trade whatever, trade alert." So if you guys want to do that and let us rate that trade, like the next time we do this segment on stream, go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Any announcements for today? I think by the way, there's World Wide Web Land. They are releasing their apartment builder today. So keep an eye on those prices. I don't know what the market is going to do, up or down. I think roughly it's about 2.6 at the moment floor for World Wide Web Land. It is going to be interactive within your OpenSea or whatever marketplace viewer. So you're literally going to be able to use your avatar and walk around your apartment, your unit. What else is going on today?
That's a good shout out. We also have tomorrow. I'll pull it up here. We got the Lobby 3 mint happening tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern, and they're having a Spaces with Andrew Yang, Andrew Wang. He's gonna be out there for Rug Radio, D's. That's gonna be a pretty big event to track tomorrow. I'll be watching it closely.
Oh, just in case, for those of you who were not here in the stream the other day and haven't got the chance to watch the VOD, we have released kind of like our first iteration of our wiki, which is hosted in Notion. And that's a place that we are going to put a lot of information that we share with you guys. You're going to be able to see our upcoming content calendars, any events drops. You're going to have all your project information be centrally stored there. So if you need to know, okay, there's Wonder Pals, and without going to their Twitter or anything like this, if you're already here, you can go to our project directory, get their website, Twitter, Discord, Medium, whatever it may be, and then also drop calendars for stuff that we're looking at, or at least have our eye on. Doesn't mean we're gonna buy it, but we have our eye on. We want to track that stuff. So that's the link for that. That is hosted by Notion. It's not gonna drain your wallet. You don't have to connect your wallet to it. But yeah, give us some feedback on that. We've already got quite a ton. We've made some changes, and we just continue adding to that.
Yeah, and eventually, we're currently building a website as well, so hopefully that's going to be our central hub once that's built out, and
yeah,
it's hopefully it's going to be clean UI, just a nice central hub for all of our information, our videos, some articles, and how-to guides shown up there. We'll be back again on Wednesday, same time, 1 p.m. Eastern, I believe. Let us know. Tweet at us. I think we're going to do another pick'em. Let us know what you guys want us to pick. I think we're also going to talk about tools that we use. Last week on Wednesday, we talked about what to look for in projects of red flags, what we look for. And I think this Wednesday, we're going to talk about, some tools that me and Yo Jeremy use individually just to help our NFT research, just looking through projects and filtering through and trying to find those hidden gems.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, let us know. we're doing a pick 'em. We haven't decided yet. If you have an idea of what you think would be a really good pick 'em, then hey, shout us out, let us know, and we'll take that suggestion.
And for those of you who weren't here for the sneak peek, last week we may have a little something for you, and I'm not gonna say it. You know, for those of you watching the stream with your eyes instead of your ears, then I might just pop it up for a little bit.
Oh,
And
wait,
that's it. That's all you get.
Wait, why'd you show that? I thought we were holding that back. That was the angle we were holding back. What are you doing?
If you missed it, you missed it.
Yo, no. Remember, just like last week, no clips. You know, I'm always gonna ban you if you clip it.
No VOD. Delete the VOD. You're getting banned. So I don't know. We may even have like another one for you. I'm not sure.
Totally
But
says they didn't even see.
we did not even see.
I think he's capping. Okay.
Well, there was another one. It just goes by so fast. But yeah, we're building, guys. We want to give y'all some benefits. We want to show you how much like we appreciate your support this far. And yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. Thanks everyone for joining us on Monday. Hopefully everyone had a good start to the week. Oh, you're just showing those leaks, huh? I know you got a meeting at 2. I know I got a home inspection at 2 here in like 20 minutes. So we'll probably hop off of here. But again, everyone, thanks for joining us on Monday. We'll be back again on Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern, just as usual. Thanks for joining us. Be your own alpha.
Yeah. See you later, guys. Get some dubs. Happy Monday, is it? Yeah. So be your own alpha. See ya.
Peace.